Hi everyone, this is Duke here with an explanatory video on our simulator assignment titled Aerobatics number 2, Knife Edge and Air Show. So this is our final PicaSim assignment for the semester, and so a little bit of fun here too, adding in some aerobatics. I do want you to try to learn how to do, at least briefly, this knife edge maneuver. So this is a maneuver where your plane is basically flying 90 degrees to the right or left, rotated from what it would be taking off in, if that makes sense. I'll show you in the sim in a second, but imagine the plane's flying on its wingtip, basically, instead of in a normal attitude. So we'll do knife edge for at least 5 seconds in this assignment, and then the rest of the assignment is to show off and do at least three, probably more, of loops, rolls, and any other tricks you want to try to do with the aircraft. It's kind of just a fun time to show off. Okay. You don't want to crash during your air show, right? That would lose you points, so don't do that. You can have the knife edge separate from your air show. If you want to do knife edge and then add that knife edge clip to your total video. So that's fine if you want to do that with the videos and merge them and then upload, or you can just do the knife edge and then go straight into the air show and do that. If you're getting confident with the knife edge, you can probably just do it during the air show, but you might need to add it separately if you're still having some trouble getting into and out of it and you don't want to burn up your time here. I do have a minimum 60 seconds and a maximum of 75 seconds on this, so that may play into how you want to edit your video as well. So let's go ahead and go into PicaSim here. Oops, let's make sure I change so you guys can see PicaSim. There we go. Okay, and I was already playing around with this plane in here. But if you go into PicaSim and go to Free Fly, I would choose your own scenery and planes. Go to Powered Planes. Since a knife edge, you probably want a powered plane to be able to have that ability to throttle up and keep flying. I would choose maybe one of these extra 3D planes here, or the Acrobat could be a good one as well. It just depends on what you want to choose. I'm going to choose this extra 3D here for now, that orange one. And then I'll choose the Flatland 3D where we have the different views we can choose on our aircraft. So the views here, right? You can do FPV, you can do chase, or you can do a line of sight view. And so I'm going to go ahead and go into chase view first so we can see the knife edge kind of flying. And then I might switch views for my air show portion of this video. Okay, on this plane, a couple planes that look like this in the simulator, once you start flying, there's some smoke. Okay, and if you press this number 2 over here, you get the colored smoke, kind of the color of the plane. Now, it makes it really hard to see right now, but once you start flying, so if I throttle up and kind of fly out of the smoke cloud here, we can see the plane just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and take off here, and we're going to try the knife edge. So the purpose of the knife edge is, instead of flying right side up, or upside down, okay, we're going to be flying kind of in between those two things. So when I rotate the plane like this, right, my rudder becomes kind of like an elevator. And so that's why we need to have a plane that has a rudder that helps you fly this way. Okay, and if I'm going to roll the plane over to the left like that, I'm going to have to move my rudder to the right to keep the nose of the plane up, if that makes sense. So I'm going to try to get into the groove of this here. I'm going to roll the plane over to the left and keep the rudder to the right, trying to keep the plane relatively level. You might have to give more rudder than you think. Okay, there's a knife edge, right? And like I said, it's obviously more impressive. You can do this close to the ground and show off for everyone who's watching you fly. Don't require that for this assignment, but you can do that if you want to. Fly closer to the ground. As we see here, my rudder now has kind of like my elevator control, basically, because the plane's rotated. My elevator is now kind of a rudder as we turn, right? My ailerons still are ailerons, but they're in a vertical orientation. So there's my knife edge. That was at least 5 seconds for sure. Try to keep it more level. I had a little bit nose up there. Try to keep it more level if you can, but of course don't hit the ground. After you do 5 seconds of knife edge, you can then go into some other aerobatic maneuvers, do some rolls or whatever. Let's try a loop. Okay. Now these are kind of fun to watch in the chase view, but if you go and change your view over to the line of sight view, it'd probably be more fun to watch, at least with the smoke. Let's get the plane back over closer to us a little bit. Okay, here we come. This might be where you want to edit the video so you can not have to use up all this time flying back towards yourself for the video, but as we're coming towards ourselves, we can do a couple rolls or something. Okay, try not to crash. You can fly by there, do some rolls and some loops maybe. Yeah, it kind of looks kind of cool. And like I said, at least three rolls and three loops in the video somewhere. And then you can do other maneuvers as well, kind of a roll spin combo thing. I don't know, whatever you want to call that. I don't know all the names for these. But you can do, I think this is a cube and eight. If you come up and then when you get upside down, you roll out of it. Maybe I'm getting the wrong name on that. Some of you might know that better than I do. But different maneuvers and things like that you can do with the plane and try not to crash. Oh, I just crashed. And line of sight might be more fun for some of those aerobatic tricks, right? And of course, the smoke just looks cool when you're close by and you can see the plane nice and low there. If you feel like you want more snappy response, right, you can adjust your rates in Expo like we talked about way back in the beginning of the semester, right? That's kind of just the default I'm flying on right now. But if I were to, so I gotta keep it up here and tap this acro mode, you'll see now my rolls are a lot faster, right? The controls have much higher rates, we can say, and my loops are much tighter because the plane's almost just hanging on the prop there, right? That's kind of more cool or fun or whatever, and you just got to be careful. You can control the plane. The rates are much higher, then it's much higher stakes as well. There's a little spin around there. Okay. All right. So hopefully that makes sense for the assignment. There we go. Pause. Sorry. They're straight to the ground again. Hopefully that makes sense for the assignment as far as your air show and the knife edge. Thanks.